Good morning.
Good morning, you for people. Sorry.
So, who is here this morning? Let's have a look. We have one comment.
One comment. Let me guess. But probably it's good morning. Oh, two comments. Good morning. Yes.
Astrid, Svetomir.
Oh,
Good morning.
Astrid is trying, and yes, actually she right, correct. Kalimera. Good morning, Sutumir. My God, Kalimera, Kumbara. And guys, I didn't go. I didn't drink alcohol last night. I don't cover my eyes. It's so sunny in Cyprus. Even become a winter and it's like 26 degrees, but it's shining in my eyes. Most probably you understand me the way I feel. So, what my love?
Do you want to add something? You want to talk about the workshop?
I see Clementine 3D now. Workshop, yes, but no. Saturday we have, but for those who are in Paphos, we have a hot chocolate with Monica Querido. And for those who still didn't make their videos, come on, chickens, make the video. The program will finish, and you keep watching the TV. It's not TV channel. It's here we participate. Like me and Clementine. Before I was chicken, now I'm a cock. Yes, cock. So you say cock. Yes.
Okay, so let's bring our guest for today, right? So who is our guest?
All right, or left? Yes, we bring our guest.
So with us, we're having today George.
My God, I forgot to hide this again from down, so it was not secret who is today.
Good morning.
Good
Morning, George.
How are you today? Other than the sun shining brightly.
Yeah, I'm sure in Lebanon it's the same.
Yeah, same
In the
here.
West, we are sunny people.
Indeed. Okay, I'm going to start because we have a lot of material to cover today. I hope, first of all, that you've set your mind into the mindset and that you have a pen and paper ready. I'm going to start with a story. So a couple of days ago, I was actually scrolling on Instagram, and there's a guy that I actually have been following for a long time, and I really love his material, but I've never really delved into him. Like, I didn't really know him until I actually found this post, because it was a relationship post basically between him and his wife. So then I Googled the guy, and it turned out that this guy is a millionaire. And his story is very, very interesting. So I wanted to share it with you very briefly. He's a guy who grew up with a family of obese people. And he was very lazy. The first job he ever got, he was extremely shy to actually knock on doors to ask for his own paycheck. This guy, who's now a millionaire, was very shy to ask about his own paycheck. And he was chubby and he was lazy. Fast forward a couple of years, this guy created a company that within 2 to 3 years had a growth rate of more than 57,000%. In less than 5 years, he sold his company for $1 billion. $1 billion. The same guy that was chubby, the same guy that was lazy, the same guy that was afraid of asking for his own paycheck. And so he has a fascinating story, and he has a very interesting take at it. What happened is that, in short, his company is called Quest. If you haven't heard about it, he's very famous for selling protein bars, among other things. And so what makes him different is that he says that his success is based on 3 things: mindset, beliefs, and adaptability. He had to change his mindset, he had to change his beliefs, and he had to change his adaptability in order to become the titan he is today. The guy is called Tom Bilieu, by the way. And right now with his wife, they have a couple of other companies. They sold Quest. They have impact theory. They have relationship theory. They have health theory, and another company, Women and something. I don't remember it. So, and they have lots of podcasts and shows, and they give a lot of value to people. So what is very important is that behind his company, there's the why. The why, or the drive of their company, is to end metabolic disease. This is what drove the company, what drove Tom forward. And so what is important to keep in mind is that whenever you're trying to achieve something, know the why. If you want to be more productive, know the why and work on it. He had a very interesting take that a lot of people nowadays are saying you have to be passionate about something. You have to follow your passion. That might be true in some cases, but what is more important, what is more powerful, is to follow your purpose. And here's why. You know what Tom's passion was? He actually graduated as a filmmaker. He wanted to be an actor. So he graduated with a film in the film industry, and he ended up creating something in nutrition. How crazy is that? He didn't follow his passion, he followed his purpose. Why was it his purpose? Because since he was a kid, what happened is that he grew up and his family's genetics were more about obesity, and he didn't like it. So he took this, he turned it around, and he went full on, and it became his passion and his purpose. He wanted to solve a problem, something bigger than himself, and this was very, very, very important. So now I want to talk about something that was very important. So it's about how Tom got to change his mindset. Would you like to know about it? Because mindset is one of the key things to be more productive. We can talk all day long about setting goals, doing this, doing that, all the things that a lot of personal development gurus talk about, which are great, but those are the tactics. The most important things are mindset, beliefs, and adaptability to change. So the way Tom talked about mindset was, for me, it was mind-blowing. And he was like, insecurity and lack of self-worth, because he had insecurity and lack of self-worth, lead to procrastination and a lack of productivity. Insecurity and lack of self-worth lead to procrastination and a lack of productivity. And he realized that, and this is what I want you to realize, we are not special. Yes, I said it. You are not special. I'm not special. You are not smarter. You are not more worthy than anyone else. You are average. The reason why Tom changed from the mindset of like, I'm the best, I'm special, to I'm average is simply because it was a shift of mindset. From a fixed mindset, from a masculine mindset, to a growth mindset or a feminine mindset. Instead of being focused on, entitled on, okay, I was brought up this way, so this is why I'm special. I'm special because I got this education, because I got that, to I want to learn. And this is actually what made him who he is. He changed his mindset from, I want to learn everything. When someone comes and tells him, you're stupid, he said, okay, in what am I stupid? And then he goes on and he takes his things and he goes on and he becomes a master at it. What happens is that when people tell you you're stupid, they in general, they tend to point or trigger something that is true in you. And they don't, of course, it's not about them attacking your personality. It's when they attack your like different skill sets. So this is very, very important. And it's all about how good can you get. So he's in a constant state of learning more and more and mastering the task he's doing. It's instead of being something, it's becoming something. This for me was very, very important. And this is what I wanted to say about Tom. Let's go to the exercise. I want you to have your paper and your pen ready. I'm going to take you through an exercise taken from, are you still with me? Okay, awesome. So I hope you have your pen and your paper ready. I'm going to take you through an exercise that I took from one of my mentors, one of the most important productivity guru ever, Brendon Burchard. If you haven't heard about him, you have to hear about him. So the first thing I wanted to do is to think of something, an idea that you have that you want to accomplish. Whether it's something huge, something small that you came up this week, last week, yesterday, this morning, something you really want to do. No matter what the idea is, if it's big or small, if it's crazy or stupid or whatever it is, I want you to write it down, and I want you to promise yourself, and I want you to do it right now, to take a moment and think about it and allow 30 minutes per day for that idea. I want you to create 30 minutes of your time every single day for that idea. Because if that idea is important to you, then you will do it. If this idea is not important, and you will say, oh, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll schedule it tomorrow, I'll do it after tomorrow, it's not important to you. And you might, and we're going to go in a bit, we're going to go like, I don't have time, I have this, I have that. We're going to get into that. But I want you to choose 30 minutes every single day for that idea. And in order to chunk it down, it's very, very important. Because planning and discipline will help you to get the momentum started. Okay? This is the first point. Second point. First output rule. I want you to, even if you don't know, don't have the end in mind, like a lot of personal development gurus nowadays are saying you have to have the end in mind, the end goal in mind. Sometimes we don't, and it's okay. It's all about doing the first step. Do the first step. For example, Brandon wanted to create an online course empire. Okay, he's now a millionaire, if not even more. And you know, and he didn't know how he was going to achieve that. The way he did that, he took the first step. What was his first step? Take a camera, shoot a film, and put it online. This was the first thing. You want to write a book? You don't need to know what the book is about. Take a piece of pen, a piece of paper, write the first page. Whatever it is, even if it's bullshit, sorry for the word, but even if it's bullshit, it's all about creating the momentum and starting. Because once you start, you can change it later. It doesn't have to be perfect. Don't be in, what's the word called? Paralysis. The thing where you're paralyzed and you're not going forward.
Perfectionist, yes.
Sorry?
Don't be perfectionist, because
exactly. Don't be a perfectionist.
Paralyzed.
Exactly. So this is the second thing. It's very, very important. Take the first step. So first, I hope you put 30 minutes of your day every single day for that idea. And now that you decided what is the first step. If you don't know, then find out about it. And if you can't, then this idea is not that important for you. Third point, and here is a beauty, 90-day challenge. I am challenging you. I'm challenging each and every one of you for the next 90 days, starting from tomorrow. Today you set your 30 days. Today you set 30 minutes for every day. And I want you for the next 90 days to act on this idea for the 30 minutes every single day. Why 30 minutes? Because if it's more than 30 minutes, if we say like, oh, it's going to be forever, even if it's your life purpose, oh, it's too, your mind or your subconscious mind is going to think it's too big. It's too far away. It's too far ahead. And so by saying it's 90 days, what you're doing is you're saying, okay, I'm willing to give it a shot. I'm willing to give it a try. And after 90 days, you assess, is it something that I like? Fine, fantastic, continue. Adapt it, change it, and continue. If you don't like it anymore, just give it away, change it. And it's okay. It's, again, not about being perfectionist. It's about doing the best you can, but it's all about doing action, taking action. This is very important. Those 3 points are very important. I want you now to think of point number 4, because this is important. You're going to tell me, okay, George, but I don't have 30 minutes in my day. I think that if Brandon Bouchard has 30 minutes in his day, we all can find 30 minutes. And you can find it when you're going to work, in your car, or when you're taking care of the kids, or you can find your own time. It's about you being creative. And point number 4 is very important, because it's like the saying, what you put in, when you keep on putting things in, you need to put things out. So it's true that you're putting 30 minutes in, but you also need to remove some things. This is called a drop list. I want you to remove something you're not resonating with anymore. You cannot add 30 more minutes every time. Again, it's not maybe right now you have time, but at a certain point, imagine every 90 days you add 30 minutes. 30 minutes, 30 minutes, 30 minutes. We only have 24 hours. It's important to take a point, and every week, every first of the month, decide, okay, this month I love this, I want to continue with this. This one, I'm not so sure anymore, it's not resonating with me. And you just drop it. You drop it, you leave it, you either, if it's something important for your business, you find a way to delegate it to someone else. You delegate it, but you don't work on it anymore. And every first of the month, think about it, reflect, and change it. Again, what you put in needs to go out. So you need to create space for that. Point number 5. It's very, very, very important to have an accountability partner or a coach or a mentor. It is very important to have one of those 3, and the more the merrier, of course. If you are able to, actually, I really encourage you to do that every Friday. If Friday is not a good day for you, then choose one day of the week where it's the end of the week, where you have a 10 to 15 minute call with this person, whether it's your accountability partner, your coach, or your mentor, and you talk about your week. 10 to 15 minutes. You ask them, you tell them what is working for you, what you did this week, what's working for you, what's not working for you. And they do the same with you. 10 to 15 minutes. It's because we are social beings, we are social creatures, and the way we process is by socializing, by talking about your problems, but what you did, your accomplishments, and what you need to work on with someone else. It helps us process. And this is very important, and they will give you feedback on that. This is point number 4, and it's very, very important. That it will help you drive forward your momentum. By sharing it, you will feel more important, more empowered. Point number 6, I want you to create motivation triggers. We talked a lot about habits, and habits are very important. Morning habits, evening habits, during the day habits, and they are very, very powerful. We talked so much about them, I'm not going to go into them today. But it's also about the micro things. Whenever you enter a door at your office, create an affirmation for that, set an intention, and every time you do that, repeat it over and over and over and over again. This will be your trigger to actually set yourself in a mood. When you're going and sitting by your desk, create another habit. Like, okay, now it's time for me to work. What do you want to do? Do this, do that. Whatever the trigger works for you. What I personally do, I try to do most of the time is when I come to the office, for example, right now I'm working from home, but when I used to work in my office, what I used to do is I sit in the office, close my eyes, send unconditional love, light, and prosperity to all the people around me. I receive it for me and I send it to everyone around me. This is very important. This is what works for me. Whatever works for you, maybe you have a special pen. Okay, I'm going to take this special pen to sign this contract. This is $1 million pen. Whatever trigger works for you, this is important. And one thing those are the 6 points and exercise. It's very important. If you didn't do them right now, after the call, I want you to go through them and do them. This will skyrocket your productivity like this, straight. One very important point is that if you want to take your productivity to your next level, it is not about what you're doing. It's very important to know why you're doing it, like I said before. It's important to be aligned with the task you're doing, with the goal you're doing. And so if you're not able to be aligned, forget about it. If you're not enthusiastic about it, then go do something else, shift the momentum and go back to it. This is very important. Okay. All right. I would like to talk to you about 4 scientifically proven ways for you to work smarter. Are you interested in that? Great. The first point, we already talked about it either last week or the week before. Remember the story of the Canadian and the Norwegian? It is exactly that. It is very important to take breaks. Take breaks for your mind, for your body, for your heart, for your soul. Adjust yourself, whether you decide to do that 10 minutes every hour or like 15 minutes every hour and a half, however works for you, take breaks. Point number 2, one of my personal favorite. You remember Isaac Newton? When he was like sitting under the tree and an apple fell on his head and he discovered this amazing theory, and many other examples. You know what their geniuses come from? What they do is they think of a problem and they go to nap. They go to nap, sleep. They take a 10 to 15 minute break for napping. And why do they do that? Because remember, we talked about a lot, it's been talked about a lot. You need to, whatever you do before you sleep will stay in your mind. So they start thinking of a problem and the solution. They go to sleep, so they access the subconscious mind, they access a different wave, a different part of the universe, and they channel in a way. And when they wake up, they get the solution. Napping also scientifically has 4 proven benefits other than finding the solution. First, it increases or improves your cognitive function. It increases your creative thinking, improves your creative thinking. It improves your memory performance. It helps you learning better. Your learning process becomes better because you are able to take and retain information better. How amazing and powerful naps are. Yes, right? I think Krasimir is having a nap right now.
Do you mean more kind like of meditation?
It can be a sort of meditation, but okay. So for example, we all know that at certain points of the day, we tend to have hours where we're a bit less productive. And so we can take advantage of those moments and recharge by taking 10 to 15 minutes nap. Now, there are some employers that are actually having rooms, that was before COVID or Corona. And they used to have rooms, special rooms for people if they want to go stay and rest and everything. And it showed, and now we're going to go into it in a little bit, talking about how creating, for employers, how to create the best environment for your employees. And if you're working from home, how you can do the same and how this will actually enhance your productivity. So having this nap time is very important. Third thing, spending time in nature. It resets your attention span and it relaxes your mind. And you don't need to go in a jungle, in a forest. You can create an environment. Again, we're going to talk about it in a little bit. Create a small environment wherever you are. Fourth and last point, move and work in blocks. And here I'm going to give you 2 examples. What you can do is, depending on the tasks you have, you can go in different coffee shops. Let's say I have Starbucks here, I have, I don't know, another Starbucks there, and I have any type of coffee shop. I don't have any ideas what type of coffee shops you have in Cyprus. So choose different coffee shops. And what you can do is, for every task that you have, you do it in this particular coffee shop. So what you're doing is you're programming your mind, for high performance, that whenever I'm going to this coffee shop, this is what I'm going to be working on. Whenever I'm going to work on this task, this is the coffee shop I'm going to be working on. This, by the way, is a certain form of trigger. It's a place trigger that will enhance and skyrocket your productivity. Another thing is what Elon Musk, if you haven't heard of Elon Musk, he created PayPal, he created a lot of other companies. Right now, he's trying to bring us to the moon to live there, among other things. He's a really important person. And the way he works around his productivity and his days, he divides his days into tasks. For example, on Mondays, I'm going to do the administrative tasks. On Tuesdays, I'm going to do the creative tasks. On Wednesday, I'm going to do the strategic tasks. On Thursday, I'm going to be with the employees. On Friday, with the clients. However you want to organize your tasks, you just choose a day. If it's too much for you and you have a lot more, you can divide it by half day. But it's about having the set amount of time. Again, it's a way of triggers, setting your mind, okay, mind, today is the day where we are going to work on that. And if you do it over and over and over again, you are setting yourself for success in such a way, you will even go to the moon. Look at Elon Musk. Okay, I hope you're enjoying that. Because I do have now something I want to talk about that for me was like literally very mind-blowing. And it's actually counterintuitive because we all hear about achieving goals, focusing on goals, and all that. And this is great. But what if I tell you we have been focusing on the wrong thing? Focusing on the goal is not the way forward. Do you want to know? Did you have a guess what we should focus on? Krasimir, Clementine?
The purpose, the value. That's what they say.
Close. It's about the process. Don't focus on the goal, focus on the process. Why? Because the goals are good for planning. The processes, the systems are good for making progress. So I'm going to give you a couple of examples. If you're an employer, your goal would be to build a successful business, right? Your process would be your systems would be to work on your sales process, your marketing process, your clients process, different processes, okay? If you're a writer, your goal would be to write a book. Your system would be to create a writing schedule to work on it and follow every day, every week, or every month, or however you work. The point is, by focusing on your goal, you're actually decreasing your happiness level. Because you're focusing on, oh, I'm not good enough today because I still haven't reached my goal. This actually happens on a subconscious level. I haven't reached my goal yet, so I'm not good enough yet. I need to master the skill. I need to finish this. So we're focusing on the lack. When we focus on the systems, we're shifting the focus from the lack to the abundance. We're focusing on doing the things we do right now, doing the small things every single day. And so it's all about the practice. When you write, for example, you're as an author, instead of focusing, oh, I'm going to be a New York Times bestseller. Do set the goal. I'm not saying don't do that. Do that. But then forget about it. Set the goal, do the plan, create the system around it, and just focus on the system. You're going to write every day, for example, for 3 hours, or you're going to write 5 pages every day, however you want to work around it, and focus on that. And after a month or 2 or 3, you're like, whoa, I actually wrote 3 books. So instead of being like focused on the lack, focus on the abundance. And for me, this was literally very important. Now, I hope you're still enjoying. I have one last thing I want to talk to you about. And I want you to, it's about how to increase the productivity by changing your surrounding, your environment, whether you're an employer and you're creating a workspace, or you're working from home right now, for example, and you have a certain station at home where you want to create the space. And this is very important. So, where is this? Okay. The first thing is about lighting. So we're going to use the 5 principles of senses, the 5 senses. The first one are the lights. If the lights are too dim, too cozy, then what happens is you become more drowsy and you have a lack of focus. Remember, we're still talking about productivity. Lack of focus and drowsiness. Productivity, what happens with it? Goes down. If you have harsh lighting, like very strong lighting, and it's not homogeneous, what happens? You have eye problems because like you have blurriness coming from here and there and that. And you start having headaches. The ideal way is to have a homogeneous lighting system. Like for example, if you have lighting that's having the same lighting system all around the room or the space you're working on. Not having light bulbs, having like homogeneous ones, if it makes sense. Does it make sense? Yes, no?
Yes, it does make sense. Yes.
Okay. Second thing, this the colors. If you want to increase productivity, use the color. You want to have a guess at it?
Blue,
Yellow,
Close.
orange,
Blue.
green.
So if you want to increase,
blue.
I said
Oh.
blue.
yeah, I didn't hear that. So, amazing. So if you want to increase the productivity, set some blue colors around you. You can wear a blue T-shirt, paint the office or the room you're in into blue, and this is very important. Blue. If you want to increase concentration, like Clementine said, yellow. You can even mix and match blue and yellow for productivity and concentration. You can have objects around you, clothing, paintings, whatever works for you. If you want to have a relaxed environment, remember we talked about creating a space. And it's important to have that, and not in the working space, not in the working room. It can be just next to it. Green is the color to go to. Music. Music is very, very, very important. It improves the atmosphere and it increases the employee morale if you're an employer, and everyone's morale basically. Now, of course, you can put like classical music, you can put ambient music, whatever music works for you. One thing that is important, do check with, if you're working in an office, do check with people, because some people might get bothered. So if it's not working, either you can bring the music very low, or you can put some earphones and stuff like this, but this is very important. And every now and then change the music. Depending again on people. There are people that like those that are more in a masculine mindset, for example, in the moment, would be more into a type of music that's more constant. But those that are more in a feminine mindset in the moment, again, we all know that we can dance between both. they're more into changing the music. So if you're going to listen to the same music or the same thing over and over, they're going to go like, "Whoa, no, I want to change it. It's getting on my nerves." So you have to learn this and adapt depending on the environment you're in, depending on which mood you're in, and this actually increases and enhances your productivity. Smell. Lemon. The smell of lemon promotes concentration, and it has a relaxing effect. So you're very stressed, you feel your employees are stressed, you are stressed, put a perfume or lemon, anything, bring the lemon, smell the lemon. Lavender. Lavender is known to relax you. Put a lavender smell, perfume, aroma therapy, or all those things, and it calms you. It has a soothing effect on the nerves and it reduces stress. Third thing, peppermint. Do you want more ideas? Are you in a lack of ideas and you want to brainstorm ideas? Use peppermint, because peppermint invigorates the mind. It's an energy booster as well. You're feeling you're low on energy, smell peppermint, eat peppermint even. This will shoot your productivity up. And last but not least, rosemary. What rosemary does is it improves your memory retention. You want to memorize things? Then use that. Use rosemary. There was a research by Takasogo. Takasogo is a fragrance company, and they found that you can actually increase or decrease the typing errors by drastic percentages. So for those that are into the writing business, if you're writing an email and you do lots of typos, whatever you're doing, lemon decreases by 54% those errors. Lemon, such a powerful fruit. Jasmine by 33%, and lavender by 20%. There's a study research by the University of Exeter that showed that plants actually increase your well-being by 47%. It increases your creativity by 47%. And it increases your productivity by 38%. Amazing things, aren't they?
Yeah, and you don't think even that they're important.
Exactly. Your environment, it's all about changing the triggers, adjusting here, adjusting there, and it's just like a small thing. One day after another, you're like, whoa, why am I more productive? What's happening in my life? So, yeah. That's it for me for now.
Ingrid is asking if can you please
Astrid.
send? My God, why Ingrid? Astrid is asking, can you please send us all these great tips?
The whole speech or the last part.
I believe she asked for all of them, but if you don't have the time and if you can't, because I know all of you are very busy and taking a lot of time to prepare for this show, I believe when they watch the video again, they can put them by themselves.
Okay, I'll try to send something.
Yes, in the end you decide. She said the last part only.
Beautiful. That's going to be easy.
Yes. Okay, so do you have something else for us?
Yes, I do have something else. I'm going to talk a little bit about habits. It's something that I found interesting, and I wanted to talk about it in a different way. It's something I read from a book called The Miracle Morning by Hal Elrond. It's a very interesting book, and he actually divides the habits into three segments. Okay, and so what happens is that the first segment, and here a lot of people have different ways of looking at habits. Some say you need 66 days, some say you need 30 days, some say you need 90 days. So I'm not going to give the range of time. It depends on how you believe is best. I personally go with the 90-day period. I believe that you need 90 days to start a habit, implement it, and for the habit to be part of you. So I'll leave it up to you. But what I'm going to be talking about are the intervals of those three. The first interval is actually when it first starts, it's very exciting, it's very interesting. Oh, it's something new, I'm learning new things, I'm doing new things, and it's great for the first day, 2, 3 maybe, or so. But after some time, during the first chunk, the first 10 days, if it's 30 days, the first 30 days, if it's 90 days, or however, you start feeling it becomes unbearable because the excitement has gone off. And you feel like it's going to go forever. But it's very important for you to know that it's temporary. If you are able to trick your mind, to tell your mind, like actually by forming this habit, this unbearable phase, this difficult phase is actually just temporary, that you're doing it for the greater good, that actually if you continue and persevere with it, you're going to get out of it much better, then you won't be the one who will succeed, because this is actually the price to pay. The price to pay for success is going through this short, uncomfortable period to then become a master at it. Which leads us to the second phase. The second phase, it's easier. You have started to adapt and make this habit part of your life, but it's still not ideal. You still sometimes feel the pain, sometimes feel the cravings. You sometimes want to go back to your old methods. And so this is the phase where you will be most tempted to revert back to your own habits and say, you know what, I've tried, I did 10 days, I did 20 days, I did 45 days. It was great, but it's not yet for me. So you go back, and it's important to follow through, to continue and persevere to the last phase. Why? Because this last phase, whether it's the last 10 days of the 30 days, the last 30 days of the 90 days, what will happen is, this is when the shift will start happening. This is when you will go from pain to transformation. This is when you will go from hating and resisting to actually making this habit part of your own identity. This habit will become part of who you are. This habit will become a new part of your own mindset. You would have shifted your mindset, made it the way you wanted it. And this is when you will actually enjoy doing the habit. Again, starting. This is the enjoyment, where the enjoyment starts. So those are, for me, I thought were very, very important, because we all tend to start something new and we're like, okay, it's all great and dandy. But then when we come into the unbearable phase, or in the phase where we're struggling, we're like, you know what? I tried it. It didn't work out. I tried 10 days without pizza, and it's not working for me anymore. Or you're like, okay, I really didn't like it, but I'm going to continue and push forward. And by the way, it's about replacing the habit. If you're just going to say, okay, I'm going to drop the pizza, it won't work. If you're going to drop the pizza and you're not going to replace it, nature will replace it for you. Automatically, it won't be replaced. So if you actually proactively choose what you're going to replace it with, this will empower you. This will give you actually more strength to actually have this change and make it more smooth. So yeah, this is what I would add.
Thank you, George. I think
You?
we're going to close this session.
Yes. Okay. I have an interesting story about this guy, Tom. I checked. I was not sure if it's the same. This guy, he's married for a Cypriot girl, actually.
Oh,
And,
Lisa
yes,
is a Cypriot girl?
for Cypriot girl, yes. And his father asked him. He said, I will post the video after. I will download and I will post to you." And his father said to the Cypriot girl, "How are you going to take care of my wife? You don't have even normal work." And after, when they create all the factory, he invited the father and they say, "What do you think about now?" And the father simply started crying. You know, it's very big
Emotional.
story. It's very emotional story. Yes, I'm gonna post to the people. after
He's
surgery.
a brilliant guy. I was literally amazed, and he's one of my new, like, I really am following him a lot. He's really, really good at what he's doing.
Yeah, for me, he's yeah. For me, it's not new because I follow him for a long time. But yes, and Elon Musk, if someone want to buy Tesla, go and buy Tesla. Just go make deposit of €100 and your car will come, because you can only order online the car. You cannot buy from any shop or somewhere. Anyway, George, what about the surprise? You said something about surprises. You remember?
Oh, yes. Thank you for the reminder. So, remember last week we talked about the surprise? So, if for those of you who are interested into the surprise, I have something for you. I would like you to post on the group to write down what is the one challenge that you are currently having in your life right now. A challenge that you're having that you really want to overcome. I want you to write it on the group. And if you don't feel comfortable enough to do that, send it to me as a private message. And I'll let you more about it next week.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Wish you a lovely day. We're going for a breakfast and see you tomorrow. No, yes, see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. Have a great
Thank you.
day.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.